welcome back to our Memorial Day Savings Weekend live shopping events. This is episode 7 of our live shopping events. Can you believe we've done 7 episodes together? I guess 6. This would be the 7th. And I've had so much fun. I hope you have as well. Today's episode is all going to be basically based around quilting on our domestic sewing machines without having to do free motion. Okay. Now, if you've watched me throughout this past couple of years, you've seen me really take a hold of this course called QISS. Now, QISS stands for Quilting Is So Simple, and it truly can be on our domestic machines. No free motion. Feed dogs are staying up, and we're achieving beautiful results for quilting. Now, this method is also based around Quilt As You Go, so we're going to look at that as well. I also have a special guest with me here in my home studio. If you were here with us this morning, you would have seen her. She is joining us as well. I've got to mess with cameras real quick, and there she is. Okay,
hi, everyone.
Hi, Mom. So Mom will be with us. She is going to be on another table. She's going to be working on popping up any questions that you guys may have if I am speeding through something. She's also going to be playing with a fun product called diamond dots.
Yep.
Now, we will be doing a much more in-depth video on the diamond dots here in the future. She's just going to kind of give you a brief, this is what they look like type of thing. But they're a lot of fun, and it's a great therapeutic thing for you as well.
I'm excited. I actually have never tried it, so this is going to be fun.
I'm just putting her right on the spot, folks. I'm saying you're going to figure it out.
Yeah.
No, it's really easy.
It's that easy.
It's really that easy, and it is definitely a lot of fun. Always let us know where you're watching us from in the comment section. We absolutely love to see what you're kind of working with and what you're up to. We also, because this is Memorial Day, we also want to remember what this day is really about. It's not really about savings or sales or anything like that. It's really about honoring and remembering those that put their lives on the line and sacrifice, have the greatest sacrifice for our country and for our freedom. So I am on a different computer. We don't have the pretty graphic, but if you will all just give us just a moment of silence, we would really appreciate that. Thank you so much. We come from a military family, so it's a big day for us.
Yes.
We like to honor those because it's a big deal, really big deal. Okay,
I'm going to go over to my spot.
You're going to go over there to your spot? Yep. All right, she's going over there to her spot. Again, Mom will be available. She'll be kind of asking questions to me as they come through. I really hope you are enjoying these live shopping sessions as well. It's not just about the sales and the shopping. I really like for y'all to get some information out of this. And then, of course, get the best deal that you possibly can on it. So let me know in the comment section if you're liking these sessions, if you'd like to see more in the future. I can definitely make that happen for you. Now, Mom, you're not used to seeing that. Her face, if you guys can see her face, is phenomenal right now. Those are actually on the screen on the TV, so I can see that stuff.
Oh, gotcha.
You're gonna watch the website and you're gonna watch Instagram.
Gotcha.
We are streaming to all of our incredible platforms. We're going to Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and our very own website. If you are watching us on those first 3, Facebook, YouTube, or Instagram, thank you very, very much. You're gonna get some incredible information on those platforms. If you want to take advantage of the actual live shopping feature, hop over to our website, lindas.com. And from there, you can easily go into the live shopping tab. And from live shopping, it's going to pull up today's video, which is right there. And in that video, you can actually shop directly in the video, so you never have to leave it. We have one more session at 3 o'clock this afternoon, so make sure you hit that notify me button so you can be notified whenever we go live, because this last session, Mom's actually going to show you how to make some fun stuff. I'm going to work on some diamond dot stuff. It's your kind of good chance to get any of those last minute questions answered. I'm here to answer any questions, talk about any product that we have talked about over the course of those last 7 sessions, and get any final answers that you need out of that.
And it's been great. They've said it's been great spending the weekend with you.
Oh, thank you, guys.
We love having you follow us and spending the weekend with us.
We love that. Yes. Now, one thing I do want to note, because I did not speed through them earlier when we were in the Cuddle Center because there was so much fun just playing with the fabric. I didn't have my nice little sign of stuff. So I do want to go over the Memorial Day saving sales that end today, May 25th, 2026 at midnight Central. We're doing 45% off the batting rolls and packages. You've got batting by the yard, which is up to 50% off. Fabrics, looking specifically at these those cottons. How many times have I done this? Cottons, flannels, and batiks are going to be up to 35% off. That beautiful Shannon Cuddle that we looked at this morning, that's 25% off. Notions are up to 35% off. The incredible Quilter Select products and R&K products, those are 25% off. Thread is up to 35% off. In that thread category specifically, Glide and Superior branded threads, those are 25% off. And we've got those incredible cart bonuses that are available. If as you spend, you'll see those cart bonuses kind of stack up to help you out. And then there's all those secret bonuses that we talked about in the other live shopping events. And I'll go over those on that last one. So make sure you're notified for that last one to get those secret bonuses. And on that last episode today at 3 o'clock, we're going to go through the fun giveaways that will be happening this next week as we go.
Ooh, giveaways. I love giveaways.
We love free stuff, don't we? I love free stuff.
Yes.
I know you guys do. So today we are going to be, again, talking about QISS, my favorite thing ever. Okay. Now, QISS was invented by Pauline Rogers. She's a wonderful woman out of Australia, and I am her brand ambassador here in the United States. And it's all about, again, quilting on our domestic sewing machines without free motion. Okay. So I want to show you guys a quilt that I've shown before, but this one is all done on my Bernina. I did this on this machine, every piece the blocks, did the quilting, all the things. And I have to show you piece by piece because, you know, we're vertical. But this was all done. I know the quilting is a little harder to see because of the lighting, but maybe I could turn it that way. What if I turn off the lights? Do you think that would help, Mom?
I don't know.
You can see the shadowing.
Oh,
yeah.
Now you can see the
That's what I'm talking about.
Now you can see the fences.
So you can see all the chicken wire. You can see the curved, all that stuff. And this quilt was put together, Quilt As You Go, as well. So basically what that meant was I did the sheet block, for instance. I cut the backing and the batting for this block. I pieced it together. I quilted it. And then I did that for the chicken and for the pig, so on and so forth, okay? And then I pieced them together using the sasher tools right here in the center. But every single piece was a separate piece of backing. But when you turn it around with this incredible system, it just looks like I did Stitch in the Ditch. You can't even tell.
No, you cannot tell that
this is not
blocks.
One solid piece of backing. Nope. These are block by block, sashing strip by sashing strip.
Ooh.
See, Mom's been in a few of my presentations. She knows I love an ooh and an ah moment. Okay. So this was a pattern that I converted into making it Quilt As You Go. This is a pattern by Moda. I think it was called Farmstead. There is another one. This is my version of the Exquisite quilt, which is the free course. Oh, that got dark. Okay. Now we need the lights. Oh, God, this remote. There we go. There it is. So this is the Exquisite quilt. All of these were separate blocks as well. All of this quilting was done on my Bernina. Again, even stitch length, no free motion, no computerization, no stitch regulator. And then put together using all the fun different sashings. Again, each of these were individual blocks put together. And it comes together to look like that. Not one solid piece of backing, but it sure does look like it, which is super cool and super duper fun. Now, I have a ton of different videos about this technique on our site. Pauline and I have done a lot. She's got a whole different set as well. So if you hop over to our website, and I'm actually going to show you this right now so I don't forget, because I tend to forget this.
While you're pulling that up, what is the best ballpoint needle that you would recommend for sewing machines? Do you use ballpoint on sewing machines at all, or just on the long arms that you've used?
I personally haven't used the ballpoint on my sewing machine. I just go with a thinner needle on a smaller needle. It's like an 80-12.
Yeah.
And you'll get good results with that.
Yeah. If anybody in the chat is a teacher and they know that, please feel free to answer that in the chat for Vicki.
So on our website, underneath the quilting tab, there is the QISS Quilting Is So Simple. And that's going to take you to the QISS page. But at the bottom of the page, there is a free course. that you can take, and Pauline has done all these incredible videos for you to help you make the exquisite quilt. Now, mine didn't have the borders or the appliques because I like to do things a little bit different, but you have all the instructions and the videos and everything on that site to create a fun, incredible quilt doing some of the techniques that I'll be showing you today. So let's talk about the different products that make the QISS system come together. And I want to start with the actual heart of the quilt. Besides the love that we put into our quilts, the heart of any quilt is going to be your batting. Now, we had a wonderful batting episode on Saturday. Feel free to go back and check that out. A lot of information packed in that. But one thing that I talked about in that episode was there is a batting of my choice, number one batting of my choice for doing the Quilt As You Go technique or any type of quilting that I'm going to do on my domestic machine, because I don't do spray basting and I don't do pinning. Spray basting, I think, it leaves a tacky finish on my needle, and pinning has too much shift for me. So I prefer to use the Hobbs 80/20 double-sided fusible, and it comes in a wonderful package. I'm sure Mom will throw that on the screen for you if you're on our website shopping. But that Hobbs 80/20 double-sided fusible batting. So you're going to have that same beautiful 80/20 that you're used to, but it is going to have a spray, basically a spray base, but a spray adhesive on both sides of the batting, with it being a double-sided. And that goes into our quilt block, our little sandwich, basically. And that sits right inside of that. And you can take a hot, dry iron and press your layers together, and it's going to keep everything from shifting. But it's absolutely phenomenal because there's no stretch in it. And when we're working underneath the foot of our machine and we're turning our blocks and pulling the quilt, we want it to stay as square as possible. We don't want any stretch in that. So if I took my mat.
And what's also nice is it's not sticky. Remember how you're talking about the spray base is sticky?
Yeah, there's no stick. There's
no stick on
not
there.
leaving any residue on your needle or anything like that, which is great. But you can take your hot iron and just press and hold for about 7 to 10 seconds in those sections. And while I'm doing that, we had a wonderful comment on our YouTube, says, I use the ballpoint for elastics when I don't want to tear the fibers.
Oh, thank you. So that would be something to look into on the question. Yeah, the question was over on our website. Yeah. So yeah, great. I love when we help each other out. Because Corey's pretty smart, but we don't know everything.
No, I don't know everything. But
you learn as you go.
You quilt as you go, you learn as you go. But yeah, you're just pressing and holding. I'm doing it a little faster because I have done this one already. But you're just pressing and holding for about 7 to 10 seconds. And what's happening is that heat is activating that adhesive. And it's just adhering those fabrics together. It's also shrinking down the loft of the batting significantly, so you can get it through the foot of your machine a lot easier. So as I'm pressing this down, again, 7 to 10 seconds, I'm speeding through it just because of time.
I love that Aliso iron that you have.
The M3s with the little headlights. You just can't beat it, okay?
I love the headlights. Sorry.
You're fine. So you're just going to press and hold, keep that in place. And again, that's also going to make that quilt sandwich extremely thin. Now, that is by design because, like I mentioned, you want to make sure it's going to work underneath the foot of your machine really well and not have any extra bulk. But after you get everything quilted up nicely and bind the quilt, this is a small piece, but bind the whole entire quilt, you toss that quilt in the washer. That fusing medium on that batting is water soluble. So what happens is once that fusing medium gets in contact with the water in your washer, science happens. Don't know chemistry of it. I don't know, but it's amazing. And that batting lofts back up to that 80/20 potential. So you're not having to lose or sacrifice the loft that you would like to work underneath the foot of your machine. And again, no stretch. I mean, I could take this and it's not going anywhere, okay? Which is absolutely lovely.
Yeah, the fusible has been actually one of my favorite battings for my mud rugs and all the different table mats that I'm doing.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
So.
Kim on YouTube also says ballpoint needles are great for knit fabrics. They do keep it from tearing the fibers. That is correct. Yeah, yes. Absolutely love them for knits. So as we go overhead, let's take a look at our first product within the Core 6 products of the QISS. Now, the first product I want to show you is the dot-to-dot designs. Now, what the dot-to-dot template is going to do is give you the ability to create beautiful melons in multiple different sizes. Also getting incredible little clamshells, mini melons, and curves all the way through this. And I do have a few, this is actually good before we go too much further. I do have some great questions coming in on YouTube. Hillary says, what was the name of the fusing medium? I missed the name. It is the Hobbs 8020 double-sided, oh, hello, that's a lot of me, double-sided fusible edition. So you're looking for the 8020, but you're looking for the fusible edition from Hobbs.
You could actually just type in HF-45 or HF-90 and it pulls up really fast on the website.
On the website, yeah, that's a good one. Wendy was also saying, how wide does that batting come? So it comes in either a 45 by 60 package, a 90 by 108 package, or a roll, which is Mom's preferable choice and mine as well, a roll that's 96 inches wide by 30 yards.
Why don't you explain the roll, why we love the roll so much?
Oh, why I like the rolls. I like rolls of batting just because they're a little easier to work with, one from a crinkly wrinkle standpoint. When we've talked about on our batting episode, when these packages of batting are created, and this is any brand, it's not just Hobbs, any brand they have to roll them up tight and stuff them into the bag for shipping purposes, storage purposes, shelf purposes. And sometimes that can create some wrinkles in the batting, whereas a roll it's only folded once and it's rolled really beautifully on that cardboard tube. Not all companies do a cardboard tube, but Hobbs does. Nice cardboard tube to go on your batting bar on your long arm. And it just makes it a lot easier. It's a little bit more lofted. Now, I will tell you, I had a wonderful comment come in while we were live during the Cuddle episode, and they were using a batting roll. They purchased it in 2025 and just opened it today. And when you do that, you have to imagine it's been compacted in that even if it's a roll, compacted in that plastic for quite some time now. That's a year and some change now. So with that, you got to let the batting breathe and loft up. You'd be even surprised. Mom did a video, actually, a little short about batting coming out of the roll, out of the plastic. She left it there for how long did you do it there? A week?
7 days.
7 days. And it went from like this to like that, because it's getting that air back in that fiber, getting out of that compressed state, if you will. So that can help you with that loft as well. But I know that was a long-winded answer because that's what I do. I give you too much information. But the Hobbs 8020 fusible, best thing. Okay. We got on questions, Mom?
Yeah, I think we're good.
Okay, wonderful. So again, we're going to start looking at the dot to dot, which is going to help us create these beautiful different shapes. So let me grab my stencils out. The dot to dot package is going to look just like this. What I love about these products is on the back, there are instructions on how to use the products, along with QR codes for the videos. So you can actually watch videos along with either myself or Pauline to see how these products are used if you don't remember, or if you're just opening it up for the first time. That's the best way to do it. All right. So in the dot to dot set, the first thing that you're going to notice is going to be, you have two different grid sizes. So you have an inch grid and an 1.5-inch grid, and you fill in these little dots with your fabric marking pencil. I like the bowhen pencil or the sew line pencil, depending on which one you've got available. But the sew line's a really nice one. The bowhen one is wonderful as well. These are wonderful because they do not heat set if you have to like repress your part of your quilt because you've already drawn it with this fusible. And they either erase away or they wash away, which is really, really good. There's also a little bonus trick with if you want to wash out these markings, but you don't plan on washing the quilt. Those Aqua Touch markers that we talked about during the R&K episode. I don't believe I added those in, Mom, so you might have to add them in later when I get to it.
It's not doing the add the card again.
For which one?
Well, the sew line fabric pencil.
Uh-huh.
So when I went add to cart, it's not adding it, like the issue we were having earlier. But they're all over there on the side.
They're all, yeah. So that's weird. Sorry about that,
You
guys.
can look at it when we do diamond dots.
Yeah, I'll do that when you do diamond dots. Yep. So anyway, but you can take this and you just set that right on your fabric. Let's go this way. Beautiful. And you're just going to take that marking pencil and you're just going to fill in that dot all the way through. So you're just going to fill that up really, really nice. And I really recommend that you fill the whole entire dot up, that's what's going to help keep everything nice and square for you whenever you are going to line up the rest of the stencil. So I'm just going to do just a quick few dots here so you can see them. But just a few. There they go on that section there. But you would do that across the whole entire piece that you are working on. And it would end up looking something like this.
Voila.
So a full set of dots, okay? I've drawn a little bit on the bottom, so we're going to hide that from you so you don't get to see that because you want to get the ooh-ah-ah sensation, okay? But then out of your grid dots, you have a bunch of different curves that you can use. So there's a large curve, a circle, different sizes to create all those different shapes that we're looking at. We're going to use this one today. And if you'll notice, the dots through the center of your curve stencil line up with the dots that you marked with your grid. So you can take your pencil now and then just draw your line. A little harder to see on camera. Might have to draw it a little bit thicker.
Mm-hmm.
So you're just going to draw down that side. And again, I might have to make this a little overdone so you guys can see it better. There we go. Now you can kind of see it. So you're going to do that. And then to do the rest of the curve or the rest of the chain. I mean, that's a beautiful curve right there in itself, isn't it, Mom?
Yeah, it is.
A lot of fun stuff. You could do it just that curve. But if you take this template and you flip it, line up those dots once more. And then I'm going to over-exaggerate this drawing so you can see it.
And while he's doing that, we had a good question. Can you use pounce powder? And you can also use pounce powder.
For the grid dots.
For the grid dots.
Yeah, you would still use a pencil to mark
To do your marking.
your markings, yeah.
Yeah, that's a good question though.
But you start to see how that chain comes in together. And then I would skip down, line up my dots again, and mark. So you're using this to create that overall illusion, that overall drawing basically. And you only have to mark it as heavy as you need to be able to see it. Again, I'm just over marking it so you guys can really see it on camera. But just mark it as heavy as you need to be able to see it. And that's going to create. So I would do those all the way down my block of fabric. And then you can turn your stencil vertically. Line up your dots. And this one's only going to be one little piece here, but line up your dots, flip again, line up your dots.
What I really liked about this system is that you can draw all these designs, whether it's the dot to dot, the geometric, or the feather, and you can also use these on a long arm. So if you're doing freehand and free motion on your long arm, you can draw out your designs, and then do it. So I think it works for both methods.
Oh yeah, no, this isn't just for doing domestic machine quilting. I've done this when we get to the feathers in a minute here. I've used these, the feather templates to stitch out feathers a lot on I just sit down at the table, draw them out on my quilt, and then take and load up my quilt onto the frame. Robin on YouTube says the batting will not stick to your iron either. It's wonderful. Yes, the batting, the Hobbs fusible batting does not stick to your iron either. Now that doesn't mean leave the iron sitting on it by any means, but it won't stick to it, which is great. So let's head over to our machine. I know Mom thinks she's got a question for me before we move on. What was that question?
I just wanted you to explain the dot to dot and grid system it's all together, and then the geometrics is a different system, which is why it's a little less.
That's correct.
You do need the dot to dot.
Yeah, so that's a good, thank you for bringing that up. The dot to dot curves and grid system is coming with all 5 of the templates, the 2 base grid designs and then the 3 different curve designs. But there is also a dot to dot geometric, okay? And I think of the geometric as an expansion pack. It's not its own standalone product. It's more of an expansion pack. But you'll notice how this one says dot to dot just geometrics, and the curve says dot to dot curves and grid system. So to do the geometrics, which is how I did the chicken wire on that quilt that I showed you at the beginning, that has 3 different geometric tools, but you still have to have the original dot to dot grid from the grid system to use the expansion pack of the geometrics. So that is a wonderful thing to mention on that. Thank you for bringing that up. Mm-hmm. So once we have our whole design drawn out, I'm just going to do this quickly for time. Once you have your whole design drawn up, you can actually head over to your machine, and this is where the fun begins. So I'm on my Bernina 570, And with this, Mom, what's funny?
You love the word sew.
I do love the word sew. It's a good one. It's a wonderful word.
I
That's what
know.
we're doing. We're sewing.
Yep.
Sew. On our, now you got to make me self-conscious. Okay. So dang it, I said it again. On our machine, I am going to make an adjustment that a lot of machines have, but you might not know where to find it. Or if you do know, if you've seen it, you've probably never played with it before because you didn't know what it was. We are going to be looking for pressure foot pressure or pressure foot tension. Now, on my Bernina 570, the pressure foot pressure is on the digital screen, but I know on some machines there is like a little curve dial here on the side. There might be a dial on the side up here. My mom's Elna has a dial up here. There's a bunch of different options for where it could be, but look in your manual. You're looking for pressure foot pressure or pressure foot tension, not thread tension. The pressure foot pressure or pressure foot tension. Now I want you to see what this is going to look like with just your standard pressure, because the foot while you're sewing is doing a job of holding down the fabric and then letting things go through and as straight of a line as it possibly can, because we all can't sew a straight line, and myself included. And what that foot's doing is it's applying that pressure, so it's really hard for us to make these beautiful curves and turns. So I want you to see what it's going to look like on that standard pressure foot pressure. This is what you're always using for your standard piecing. And when I get going on this, do you see how I'm trying to make that curve and it's bunching up? That's because the machine is doing exactly what it's meant to do. It doesn't want us to curve the fabric. It wants us to let it go nice and straight. But I want to curve the fabric. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to adjust my pressure foot pressure. Now on my B570, it's set at 70 is the standard foot pressure. But like on my Juki that I used to use, I have a DX4000, and that standard pressure was like 3.6, 3.8. And to do this technique, I had to go down to a 1.4. My mom's Elna, hers is set at 5, and she's got to go all the way down to 0.
Yep.
They're all different. Each machine is different, so you have to play with it to figure out what pressure foot pressure works best for you. So I'm going to take this down. I'm going to scroll it all the way down, and I'm taking mine to 11. Now, I can tell you for all the Berninas that I've been on that have the digital pressure foot pressure, 11 is the sweet spot for it. So if I take that to 11, I've also got, I forgot to mention this, I've also got a Sew Slip mat on, a Sew Slip 2. That is a nice Teflon sheet that's making everything glide really nice. I leave this on 24/7. It's got a beautiful cutout hole for the feed dogs because our feed dogs are still up. It just helps all that surface tension off the machine. So now at 11, when I'm sewing, you'll just notice that I just get to spin this fabric nice and free, following that line. All the way. You'll also notice that I'm just kind of sitting back here, moving it back and forth. I'm not hovering and pushing the fabric through. I'm letting the machine do all of the work for me. I also need to bring my thread tension down a little bit. Forgot to change that setting. And it's just based off the thread that I'm using. But I'm just literally just gliding this back and forth. I'm sitting back with my shoulders back. I'm getting even stitch length, perfect stitches, and rolling it back and forth. Now, the big win for this is the batting. The batting's keeping everything nice and square and in shape, so I can create beautiful chains and quilting on my machine without even having to think about it. Just fantastic.
Yep. And there's only a few of those mats left in stock.
Oh man, you better get them because they're on sale. People buying them out. Okay, but that Sew Slip 2, I love it. Mom and I did a guild presentation in Oklahoma Thursday.
Yeah,
Golly, was that Thursday? And drove back for Friday. And the Sew Slip 2 mats, they loved those. They're just fantastic. But you can just see how easy. You can just curve this around back and forth, following those beautiful stitch lines that you created, or those beautiful drawing lines, and get to where you need. No free motion, which we absolutely love that. What's up?
Do you know if we have any more of those coming back in stock? Because people are excited about those and they're already going to be sold out.
I'm going to look while you're doing diamond dots.
Okay.
let's talk about feathers real quick, and then
Okay.
we'll take a break from this. You can play with some diamond dots, and I'll do some checking on the pencil and the sew slip mats.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So let's look at feathers. Now, feathers is a big one too that people sometimes get intimidated by, and you don't need to be intimidated by the feathers at all. This is wonderful, again, for drawing them out if you want to do freehand on your long arm, or if you want to do controlled quilting on your machine using the QISS products. The feather templates are your go-to. Now, in the feather templates, there are 3 different sizes of feathers. So you've got kind of that medium original size one. You've got really big droopy size ones. I love the droopy feathers. They're so cute. And then you have got the skinny feathers. Now, all 3 of them are made to work together, which is fantastic. And they work together by stacking on top of each other, because depending on where you are in your curve, you might have to put in a skinny one or a big droopy one for it to work out. But you can get some really beautiful quilting designs out of those, and it's all done on my domestic. Now, this was the very first one I ever did. It's the first time I sat down at the machine and did it this way. And it was so cool that I could do that even stitch length and no free motion on the feathers on my domestic. So we're just going to draw out a really easy vein, nothing crazy. You can see it.
And if you'll just say what you're using again, what marker you're using again.
This is the Sew Line pencil. I also like the Bowhen pencil. No, I thought that was going to make it better. No, all right. Sorry, guys. Okay, lights, really? Just stay on. There it goes. I can make. I'll make it a lot darker so you can see it. You do not have to etch this on like a coloring book project when you're at home. You just have to do one solid thin line so you can see it. Just the camera's having a hard time picking it up. There it goes. Okay. So you can create whatever kind of vein that you would like. And then you can take your feather stencil and just line that bad boy up alongside the vein. And then you'll take your pencil and just draw directly inside of your feather. Again, you only have to do one little line marking. I'm just overdoing it so you can see it. And it starts to create your feather plume. Now, what I mean by earlier when I said they all stack on top of each other, the stack that I'm talking about is when you go to draw your next feather, you really just want to make sure that the curvature of the one that you just drew matches up nicely with the bottom curve of the feather that you're about to draw. And that just goes right on top of it. And I'm going to stop about halfway in this feather and just rotate this ever so slightly so I can get it to get perfectly back to that little spine of the feather, because it wasn't going to hit it all the way. But a small little rotate gets us right back there. And you can take that and draw all the way up one side, and then you would start on your other side. You can mix and match in between them. You want a really thin one right there. Just make sure that curve sits beautifully on what you've just done. So you can really mix and match, have a lot of fun, and no feather will ever look the same, which I think is even more fun about it. But you can just mix and match those all the way through. So you would take this over to your machine. We're still going to be using the foot pressure of 11. And
what's nice about these pencils that you use, they erase off or wash off, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So we're going to start here at the top of that stem. Go. Come on, little buddy. There you go. So again, just curving down that vein. To that point, we're going to pause, turn my fabric, and this is where the magic starts to happen. So I'm going to turn this a little bit more so you guys can see that. There we go. Okay. So I tend to take this a little bit slower, but I'm just moving that fabric and then start to make that curve all the way down. And I just created a very beautiful even stitch feather on my machine just by adjusting that pressure foot pressure using the controlled quilting and the QISS products. So I would overstitch that line. Now this is where I want to talk to you about thread. Now during our thread episode, I talked about weights of thread. I am using an 80 weight thread for this because I can overstitch the heck out of this and I'll barely be able to tell that I did overstitching because of the thickness of the thread. Holds up beautifully still, no issues with that. But I love the 80 weight and how easy I am to get beautiful feathers out of that. I mean, Mom, look at that.
I know.
Isn't that the best?
Great, yeah.
It's the best ever. I love, love, love this. So beautiful options here with the quilting. There are also hard plastic templates. There is the set F is the one that we use a lot of, but there are a bunch of different hard shell templates that I'm going to show you too, just for some controlled quilting. This is just a quick look. I don't have the time to really go through these with you guys, but there are wonderful videos about these. But these are the hard shell plastic templates, and they have the slits in them, where then you can just take your pencil and mark directly inside of these to achieve really beautiful designs. This one started in the center like this, and then I rotated it around itself and did 4 copies. And after I quilted it out, it turned out looking like that.
We had a good question earlier, but how do you store your stencils, especially like your dot to dots, to keep them from bending?
Great question. I went on to the Amazon, and I got a ton of these little mesh project pouches with different color zippers, and they hold the stencils they're snug. They just hold them right in there perfectly, and I've got a ton of them, and that's where all my stencils sit.
Yep.
In them. Yep. So I like these. I've seen a lot of people, they have binders with sheet protectors. People put those in there. These just travel really well for me. So I just put everything in my little mesh pouch and they just sit in there really nicely.
All righty.
Absolutely beautiful. So we're going to take a quick pause from the quilting. And Mom's going to show you a little bit of stuff with diamond dots while I figure out some stuff on the tech end of things.
Yep, and then you can come back and show the stasher tools.
Oh yeah, I gotta show you to put the quilt together.
Stay tuned for the
That's
stasher
the thing.
tools.
You've got to see that. So bear with us just a second. This is our first time doing multiple cameras that aren't connected to one place. So give me just a second so I can see what this is gonna look like. La 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 la. Okay, you don't need that. Oh, there's Mom, and there she is. Okay, Mom.
All right. Well, I am going to take it away. Just so you know, the pencil's the only thing that won't pull up.
Okay. Okay.
All right. So they just recently brought diamond dots to the store, and I have never used these, but I come over to the house and I see Corey doing them, and I thought we just got to show these, and we'll do a full episode on them. So here we have this flower vase one. It's called Lilac Perfume. So I'm going to show you, and then I'll show you how easy it is. So there's one, just while he's finishing up that. And these come in a little box, kind of like the paint by number things, but you're using these little stones, not really stones. What would you call them, Corey?
Little diamond dots.
Facets, like little
dots,
facets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Instead. And then here's another one that he's finished. And these are on our website. Corey will put at least one of them in the queue.
Yes.
And this one is an owl. And this one's called Bohemian Owl. Probably because of that big stone on the top. Again, they come in the packages. And then, if you're a Star Wars fan like Corey, they have also some Star Wars ones. And now with, what's the one that's coming out or just came out?
Mandalorian and Grogu.
Yeah, he's a huge fan of Star Wars. He has a whole Star Wars room. They have this one, which is the... what do you know what these things are called?
That's the Death Star. Mom.
Thank you. It doesn't say it. So the Death Star, and then they have another one that actually has Darth Vader. So those are super fun. If you're looking for an easy project to maybe do with kids or grandkids, you don't want them quite in the sewing room yet, then this will be a fun project to do. A great gift. I mean, like you said, very therapeutic. So really it comes with all the supplies that you need. Then you're going to just use this little sticker thing, push in to what they call the like the glue base on it. Then I'm going to go over here. I'm going to pick this up. Let's see if you can see it. So it's really easy. Just picks it up, and then I just go over here. It tells me exactly what to do. So I don't even have to think about it. And then I just push it down. And what's nice is that this has an adhesive on it, and then you're pushing it down with the adhesive, and so it holds it in place. And you can even put it away for, gosh, for a long time if you want, because it comes with a plastic that you can just put back on top. So if you're looking for something crafty, just quick and easy to do, or to put aside and just kind of do non-thinking, we have tons of these diamond dots on the website. I know that we have checkout specials that you can use towards the diamond dots, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the checkout specials. So, I mean, even if it's like, oh, I don't know if when you put it in the cart, you're going to get some checkout specials that he mentioned at the beginning.
So guys, if you didn't know, my mom's an affiliate for my company. And she does wonderful videos. I think you should give them your affiliate code for the diamond dots.
Okay. Well, for the diamond dots, if you'd like, I mean, my code is Diana, DIANNA 10. If you put that in, it'll give you an additional 10% off the diamond dots.
And
Thank you.
1010.
1010.
Not like spelled out 10.
Oh yeah. Diana 10.
Yeah.
So 10. Anyway, it's super, super easy. So literally, I mean, I'm just sticking it right on. It has all the instructions. I mean, so easy. Like I said, this would be so fun to do with grandkids, kids. You all could even get one, the little smaller ones, and sit around the table and at a retreat too. Oh, we need to do a diamond dot retreat. Non-thinking, snacks, putting dots down.
It's on the list.
It's a thing.
Yeah.
All right, Corey, I'll let you take back over.
Let me take back over. I only got one thing done.
Oh, well, I'm going to keep going
kidding.
then. Let's see, do they have any questions?
What size are the mesh bags? So I'm looking at those right now. I just measured this one out. It's like 9.5 by 13, 10 by 13 is what I would say. Those are the size that I'm doing. I just got the fabric marking pencil back in on the website, so that's getting there. So I see people adding that. The Sew Slip 2s, I'm trying to figure that one out right now. So I'm trying to get that fixed for everybody.
This is so easy. You don't even have to think about it. What do I want to do? I think I want to do that flower one. I love this flower one.
Which flower one?
The one that you did here.
Oh, yeah.
Because then if you put it in a frame and then hang it, you got a beautiful picture.
You do. It's really
right?
nice.
That,
That's
I mean,
really
any
nice.
of them really that you can sit there and put these in frames too. But I love that the non-thinking. I love that you don't have to be a sewer, or your friends or grandkids or children don't have to be sewers. If you just want to hang out with them, a diamond dot's a great way to do it. So
let's see. I keep mine in a clear plastic notebook with envelopes that go in the binder. Yep, that's a wonderful one. And Catherine says Amazon sells the bags in a set. Yep, that's where I got mine. I got a set of like 24, I think. And I absolutely love them. Okay, guys, on the Sew Slip 2 mats, they are coming out of stock pretty quick. We'll do a video on them again whenever they come back in stock. So if you weren't able to get it in your cart, no worries. We'll do another video, and I make sure that when we do that video, we'll honor that sales price for you.
Yeah, because even if it's in the cart, if it might not make it to checkout.
Yeah, it might not make it to checkout. So just keep that in mind. It's just these sales are so good this week. That's just what it is.
He'll just honor it again.
I'll definitely make sure I honor it again. No worries there at all.
Alrighty.
Okay, well, Mom, thank you so much for taking us through diamond dots quickly. Again, guys, we'll be doing a full in-depth video on the diamond dots just as soon as we can. I think Mom and I will probably do something later this week. Maybe that'd be fun.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Okay, so let's look at putting these blocks together the Quilt As You Go way. Okay, the different ways that I want to show you. So I'm gonna go overhead real quick so you guys can see. So I've done these 2 blocks, and then I have pieced them together in the back with a piece of the backing fabric. Now, this is not one solid piece of backing fabric. I cut a strip and did a 1/4-inch stitch on those as well to connect the blocks together. Now, one thing I will tell you about your backing strip, whatever finished size sashing you want. I'm going to say that again. Whatever finished size sashing you would like to have on your block here, you will cut your backing strip 1/2 inch wider. So if I want a 2-inch finished sashing, I'm going to cut a 2.5 inch strip wide of backing and sew them together with this spacer strip is what it's called. Okay. So I've sewn that together. I've pressed it to go in this section. Now, to cover this up really nicely and beautifully, I am going to get my sasher tools and my fabric to cut my strip for the front. So remember, I wanted a 2-inch wide finished sashing. So I'm going to cut my strip of fabric 4 inches wide. So whatever size finish you want for the top for your sashing, you need to cut it double, because Quilt As You Go is all about the turn back of the fabric. And that's going to hide those raw edges beautifully. So if I'm going to cut a 4-inch wide strip of fabric, I would grab my ruler of choice, which I'll use my Quilter Select ruler. And I'll grab my rotary cutter, my little ergonomic ball bearing one. And let's cut a 4-inch wide strip of fabric for that 2-inch finished sashing. Start up here. Bring this down. Line that back up again. Perfection. Okay. 4-inch wide strip of fabric right there. And I'm going to take that fabric and I am going to find, as a part of the sasher tools that Mom's going to throw up on the screen for you, because I want a 2-inch finish sashing, I'm going to grab my 2-inch sasher tool. Okay. Now the 2-inch sasher tool is what's going to help fold and create the nice crisp edges that are needed for this sashing piece. So I will grab my strip of fabric and I'm going to fold it close to the center, as close to the center as I can. It doesn't have to be 100% perfect, but as close to the center as I can. And I'm going to grab my iron and press right there at the beginning. Doesn't have to do too much of it, but right there at the beginning, just to get a nice press on that.
And I love how the sasher collection comes in all the different sizes too.
It's the perfect. It's the perfect amount.
Every size you need is in that collection.
So I have those set. I can take that sasher tool and I'll go from the bottom on the left side, go over and then down through the right side. And it feeds just like that. Now I'm going to do this kind of at an angle so you can see the whole thing. Normally you would do it straight, straight kind of horizontally with you, but I'm going to do it at an angle so you can see the whole thing. I'm going to take a clover fork pin. Mom, you might have to add that one on the fly. I don't know if I have that in there.
Okay.
But I'm going to take a clover fork pin. And if you've never used a fork pin, they should be called perfect point pins. They're a dual-sided pin. And that's going to get on both sides of that raw edge and pin perfect tension into that and hold that nice and flat. I'm going all the way into my wool mat, all the way into that ironing surface. It's going to hold that nice and flat. I'm going to grab my iron and I'm going to set it basically parallel with that sasher tool. You'll see that these sasher tools have a little bit of a curve in them, and that makes you think you might put your iron in it like that. No, no, no. Nice and flat, nice and parallel with it, and just push right along. And what that's doing is it's folding the fabric and creating a really crisp edge on the side to minimize bulk on our piece. Because we want it to sit as flat as possible to look like this quilt was intended to be just one pieced quilt top altogether. And then there's my strip. Beautiful with that glisten. Isn't that a pretty glisten?
It is pretty.
Looks like fireworks. So we have that strip. I'm gonna grab my blocks. Where are the bad ones? There they are. And if I took that strip, it would just lay down right on top of that, and that would create my sashing. Now, the thing is, that strip of fabric, there's nothing inside of it to keep it in place, right, Mom?
Yep. Nope. You got to have something.
It's
right?
just sitting there with fabric and fabric. It's just going to cave in like a little valley.
Yep.
Okay.
So how do we fix that?
So you're going to cut a strip of your fusible batting. Big thing, remember we talked about this keeps everything from stretching nicely, but you also have to have nice batting in between here and your backing fabric. Now, I wanted a 2-inch finish sashing, so I cut a 4-inch strip. We put it to the 2-inch tool, a lot of math, okay? Now we need to cut our strip of batting, and it needs to be a little less than 2 inches. This is like a 2.5-inch strip, so we're just gonna cut this real quick. But you just want this a little less than 2 inches because you don't wanna have any excess bulk at the seams. So I'm gonna go a little less than 2. I'm about to do 1 7/8 right now. That rotary cutter, the best.
Oh, I love the 60-inch. I actually cut through like 8 layers of batting yesterday with it.
The 60 is, I have big hands, so
Yeah,
I really like the 60.
So
we're gonna open up that strip that we just folded. We're gonna grab our batting strip, lay that right inside, and you'll notice it's gonna sit in there so beautifully, okay? You're gonna grab your iron and go ahead and fuse these down together so it keeps it all nice. Remember, 7 to 10 seconds. Don't be like me and speed through it. Do it the proper way. But about 7 to 10 seconds. And you'll notice I'm kind of holding my hand just to keep that in place because you want that to be as flat as it possibly can throughout the piece. Okay? So it's going to have its batting in it now. And if I lay that over, then it's going to sit so gorgeously. Now, we would need to take this over to our machine and do a quick stitch down the side here. But to keep everything in place, we're going to go for that Roxanne glue based it. That was one of my favorite notions that we talked about yesterday. So if I grab my Roxanne glue, I'm just going to put little dabs of that glue right here on the edge and the seam allowance. And that's going to keep everything in place while we're stitching and keep everything from shifting. You can do it with a quick heat set on your iron. So let me grab the iron real quick. Lay that right there. Grab the iron and just heat set that in place. Now, while I'm doing this, Mom, talk to them about how much you love the Roxanne glue for your binding.
Oh yeah, it's been so fun for binding, like my binding, but also making my mug rugs, which I'll show this afternoon. It just it holds everything in place, so you don't have to worry about it when you're stitching it down.
Exactly.
So like where binding will shift when it's under the machine, it's like an extra hand. I don't have to use little binder clips or the pins. That does it for me.
And it's a true fabric glue.
Yeah, and
that's a thing too. It's not a craft glue. The other thing that, again, last thing that we would do is we would head to our machine, and I would just do a really close stitch on the red still, but as close to the side as you can, and do a nice stitch down that. I would use that mono poly that we talked about in the thread episode. So really thin, clear polyester monofilament thread, and it just stitched right down those edges. And you can see the stitches better on the finished samples. Let me grab that for you so you can see the finished sample. Where are we at? We are...
And while he's pulling that up, if we have the sasher set of 12, which is a great price, all the different sizes, plus the binding tool in there. But if you're just wanting to try this for the first time, you're just not sure about all the sizes, the sasher collection mini set too, that would be a great one to start with.
Yeah, the mini set 2 has the 1 1/4 and the 1 1/8 sasher. You can also buy the sashers individually. So if you only want a 2-inch one, you can go buy a 2-inch one. We just don't have all of them on the live shopping broadcast today, but they are there under the QISS Quilting Is So Simple page.
Yeah, so there's something for everyone.
So I'm gonna put a little light on the subject here. There we go. So right there on that edge, I used that clear thread, and it's holding on to that sashing. And it looks like I just did stitch in the ditch. That's really what it comes down to. It looks like hold on, we were muted there for a second. It looks like I just did a really nice stitch in the ditch right there on the side with that monofilament thread, that monopoly, thread. And it comes together so beautifully. Love the way that this works out. I really, really do. That was the speed dating version of Quilt As You Go. Oh, should I do the star real quick?
Yes,
I should do the star. Yeah, I've got to do the star. Okay.
You got to show the different sashes.
I got to sew that.
Just show them really quick.
Yeah, we got to do the star.
That's the wow factor.
That's the one. Okay, so that was just a plain strip. Beautiful fabric.
And you can see it comes off if you need to replace it before you iron it all the way down.
Yes, before you stitch it down, it comes off easily. But there are also different sashings you can make that aren't just a plain strip. You can really go far with your different types of sashings. So let's go overhead and look at a few of the sashings. I've got a whole box of them down here. Okay, so you can use the pieced sashing templates, the little purple ones, to create beautiful, cute half square triangles if you want. And they just started out with that piece sashing template, and it has all the math built in for it. So you just cut your color and your contrasting color, you feed it through. These is the 2-inch one, so you would feed it through the 2-inch tool. And when it comes out, it would come out looking just like that, feeding through that 2-inch sasher tool. If you want to use the rectangle in the piece sashing templates, you cut out your rectangle, sew them all together, feed them through the tool, and you've got this little disco sashing. Love that one.
And no math. She did all the math.
No math. Yeah, those piece sashing templates take all the math out of it, which is great. I love paper piecing, so I just randomly started throwing things together, fed it through the 2-inch tool, and I got this sashing that made it look like it was super duper complicated when it really wasn't. Super easy and beautiful.
That's probably my favorite one.
I love this one. Yeah. I love my paper piecing one. Now, take it one step further. Okay. Say you want a different shape here in the center. We don't just want this and that. You could go one step further using your piece sashing templates. And I've got all the little cutouts for you here. Let's say you got the little square. That's a part of the piece sashing template. You cut out 2 of those squares. Let's throw this out of the way so I can do it. You cut out 2 of those squares. You sew on the diagonal, trim off the excess, iron it back, and you're going to get this. Okay. So we use the 2-inch piece sashing template, star point template, and then a 4-inch wide strip of fabric. Put those on there. We made 4 of these. Okay. We made 4 of these. 2 of them we fed through the tool, the 2-inch tool, 2-inch sasher tool, put batting in, and this is what they look like. So I take this bad boy on my 4-block sampler. I use the glue. I line that one up there. I use the glue. I line this one up here. And I stitch, pretend these aren't connected yet. And I stitch this down to this 2 blocks, and I stitch this one down to this 2 blocks. Then I use a piece of the backing to connect the 2 rows together. I grab my other 2 of these that we made, and I cut out a rectangle and combine them together. Looks like that. Feed that through the 2-inch tool, put my batting strip in it, and voila. I have my star.
Ooh,
So using those piece sashing templates, you can create some really fun stuff. And this, again, is just scratching the surface on what you can do with this method. But playing with that pressure foot pressure, you can do a lot of different things, but doing a controlled quilting with Pauline's technique, because she is the inventor of controlled quilting, is absolutely incredible. I think it's so much fun. So much fun to create all these different fun. Now, this one behind me, not the banner, but we've been looking throughout the video series, this American Liberty one. You could do that whole thing quilt as you go. This just requires some of the piece sashing templates, the sasher tools, and then however you decide to quilt each one of the blocks. But it can get really, really fun.
You have tons of videos on YouTube on the QISS system.
Yeah.
You've got videos on our site. You got the whole...
I got nothing but videos.
Yeah, so there's so much information. You just need the tools. So grab the tools and you get the education for free, basically watching those videos.
Yeah, basically.
So,
all right, do we have any questions?
No, I think I got them answered.
Okay.
The one maybe because maybe I don't know for sure is are there different designs for the plastic stencils? And I was thinking she was talking about the geometric, but she might actually be
I
talking
think she's saying about the hard shell.
Yeah, if
the
you're
hard
talking about
plastic.
the hard shell, there's a lot more. Sorry, Marissa.
Yeah, the hard plastic
me,
templates, the one that we've got on the screen for you or in the live shopping tab, that's set F. That's the one that is the most versatile for the free online education that is on that QISS page. But there's also, it goes A through M, I think. There's a bunch of different ones that you can see. And on the website, whenever you purchase the templates, you'll also get a free digital download of the different designs that can be made with it, just so you can kind of see how those work and look together as they're going. Any other questions, Mom?
Just a question that Marissa asked if the 3-yard package of cuddle would count towards the yard count, and I said no. 3 yards is considered one SKU.
Yeah, the 3-yard cuts are their own SKU. They don't count towards the buy 5 yards, get the 6th yard free, because it's not running yardage. It's one pre-packaged piece.
Yeah.
Good question, though.
Yeah, but no, I think that's good to go. I think we go and then we get ready for the next one.
I know we've got so much to do next. Yeah. Okay, guys. Well, thank you so much for joining us for a quick look at the QISS system, along with some of the diamond dot stuff that Mom did. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. It was a little bit more about showing you how I look at doing the Quilt As You Go process with the QISS products. Have some incredible sales on those, as you've seen, along with all the supporting notions that we absolutely love for them. So a lot of great buys. And don't forget to come back and join us for our last episode today at 3 p.m. today in about 56 minutes. We've got a lot to cover. But if you have not done so already, hop over to our website. And on the website, you can go to the live shopping page. And on the live shopping page, you can get notified if you need to step away, grab a snack, check on anybody. You can hit the, close out of that. Hello. You can hit the notify me button and get that notification sent to you so you are not missing out on that final video.
And one last question before we go.
Yep.
Lou was asking, her granddaughter wants to make one of those puff quilts, the bubble quilts that are out there.
Quilts, yeah.
What batting should she use? I would say polyester, because you need
you definitely want polyester. Some of those are so puffed up. Depends on how puffy you want. I would at least go with Cloud Loft, if not 2 layers of Cloud Loft. But I know some of those puffs, they actually
are really puffed.
Stuff them in those each section. So it just depends. If you don't plan on stuffing, I would go with Cloud Loft. That's going to be our most poofy polyester. And it's available in a package, a 90 by 108 package.
All righty.
Wonderful. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for watching. We truly appreciate it. Mom's going to come back over here. Maybe. There she is. We truly appreciate it. And we cannot wait to see you for the final wrap up today in 55 minutes. We'll see you later. Bye. Bye.